Hi, my name is Frank A. Thomas, and I had the opportunity to speak with the Reverend Dr. Charles E. Goodman, Jr., who is the pastor at the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia. He was our guest for the African American Legacy Preaching Series. I want you to check out this clip from our conversation. To watch the full conversation, click the link at the end of the video or in the description below. So how are you managing now with it? How it's been?
You know, it's interesting. And I'm gonna tell you how God sovereignly sets things up. Because at the time, unbeknownst to me, the #1 ALS doctor in the world was at Wake Forest. Mm-hmm. And because of my connection with our president, Dr. Angelo, what should have been a 2-year wait, they were able to get me in to see him in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. They had experimental drugs, but if anybody knows anything about ALS, it is not supposed to be curable. But where I found myself is they gave me experimental medicine, but after a while, God just kind of ceased it. So it's only really now confined to one part of my body, typically it's supposed to spread. But as now it's just, unless you know, you don't know. I've kind of learned how to navigate it. It really affects my right side a lot more. And so I just had to make some adjustments. But that's why my regimen of diet, in the gym all the time, you know, I really try to do things to make sure that I keep myself as healthy as possible. But I believe God healed me, and I believe that I'm living that miraculous part that God has kind of did in my life as a response to that call.
I think this is a profound moment in the interview, and I thank you for being willing to discuss it, because I don't think that the church knows what to do with chronic illness. I think we're trying to heal it quickly. Mm-hmm. And some of these things we have to learn to live. So I have a phrase, you can't steal this, but the phrase, and I'm trying to work it into something, but you know, I learned it when my dad died. Mm-hmm. God, I know that you're a healer. I just want to be able to accept whatever form the healing comes.
Absolutely.
It may not come. See, I think we got one form in the church. Yeah. Total deliverance. Yeah. We're going to anoint you with oil. We're going to get the elders. We're going to pray. And, you know, you're not going to have this thing. Yeah. But for a lot of folks, it's like the healing comes by the ability. It's like it's almost, and I'm going to go back to you because, you know, it's not really about me. You know, there's a difference between a cure. We're looking for a cure. A difference between a cure and a healing.
Yeah. I didn't get the strength back in my hand. I just got sustained. Right? Like I don't have it back. I still have trouble with dexterity on my right side. You know, I try to hide it. You know, even now I was just talking to staff. You know, I've had the last few weeks or so, I've been really having a thing about holding the mic. It's been a struggle. I didn't get my strength back. Right. I just got sustained. Right. But then on the other side, the most important person in the world to me, my grandfather, gets sick with cancer and he dies in 2008. Mm-hmm. So here I'm on one side where I'm experiencing the sustaining, miraculous power of God, that I'm still here. And then on the other side, the most important person to me in my life gets healed on the other side. Right. And I wrestle with that dichotomy. Right. And I still to this day, you know, where I'm trying to preach hope, and there's times where, yes, I've seen God do it for me, but I also got to acknowledge that there have been moments where it hadn't worked out how I wanted it. Right. And that's a tension that I have to continue to chisel through in my own theology, chisel through in my own presentation of things, because even in this, when my grandfather died, it changed how I approach funerals and preaching at funerals, right? Because it's a whole different ball game when you're the one on the front row. That's right. And what I say in those moments to comfort people and still tell them that God is good, even when it doesn't work out how we want it to work out, you know? And that's things that I still to this day have to really grapple with. And that hard portion of God, it's tough.